Hello and welcome to Rebel TV. We are so happy to have you. Rebel TV is a place where you can come and get to know the Rebel marketers, see what we're all about. We are on a mission to create the most successful team of entrepreneurs in the history of online marketing. And today we're talking about two techniques that can help you make your first sale online. Now, this is obviously relevant to everyone, but particularly for network marketers, because network marketers actually face a slightly more uphill battle on this initial first sale than many other people. So I'm joined tonight by my guest, who is not Jesse from Toy Story. It's Mike! Woo!
Hello.
So first sale. First sale. We're gonna talk about the two techniques, but first it's really important to realize, talking to anyone out there who has not made their first sale yet, we understand. We understand what that feels like. The first business we were in, how long were we in before we made a sale? Like 10 months or something? That's a long time.
Yeah, I remember
a lot of months.
Yeah.
It was a long time. But I remember that feeling, and I remember feeling like, oh, it's never going to be.
Wait, the first, like, the big one, the high ticket?
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
Or investment.
Oh, no.
Things.
No, we never
Weenie commission things.
Well, we never made money on the weenie commission things. I don't remember selling anything.
We never made money on that either.
We eventually made one sale, though, right?
Yeah. That eventually, in the whole time of that business, we got, like, what, 7,000? So we went, like, over 20,000 in.
Okay, yeah. We're not going to talk about that. But the first sale, there's a reason that the first sale can be difficult, and I want anyone out there who's watching this, who's in that position where you haven't yet made your first sale, to know that, number one, it's okay. No matter how long you've been trying, no matter how many things you've been trying, no matter where you're at, it's fine. You actually are just in a slightly different phase in your business than other people are. I remember the frustration of seeing these big leaders, and it felt like they could just like snap their fingers and make sales, whereas we were there struggling along going, well, I don't quite get it, and I feel like I'm doing the same thing you're doing, but I'm not making the sales. What's going on? And the reason why this is even particularly more difficult in network marketing is because we have all these other people to compare ourselves to, and so we see someone else making sales, and sometimes we're like, oh, what's wrong? What's going on? Why is this so difficult for me? Well, part of the reason why it can be a challenge is because we focus on the wrong thing. So quite often we're jumping into a new thing, we're really excited about it, we want to hit the ground running, we want to do what the leaders are doing, but we're focusing on selling the wrong aspect, and we're focusing on a different phase of business because we see what people are doing after they're already successful, we try and copy that, and what happens is it doesn't work for us, because we're not starting at the start and focusing on what works at the start. So the two techniques we're going to break down for you are going to show you what you can do right at the start, what you can focus on in your marketing message and in everything that you're doing that can allow that first sale to come really quickly. And once the first sale comes, it's like breaking a dam. Everything comes so much quicker.
Yeah, if you do it correctly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are kind of were like posing a bit, pretending there was something they weren't. The first sale comes, and you think the rest is going to come like that. Where sometimes it can be a fluke, but like they start to think like, oh, I can just get more sales the same way. When it's hard work if you're like trying to be someone you're not, and keep it up.
Yeah.
And you should be getting more and more attention, and the more attention you have, it's harder to like pretend to be somebody that you're not.
Yeah, I think that's huge. But before we get into that, let's just kind of look at what the things you should be focusing on, because what Mike's talking about is one of those things that you want to avoid. So right at the start, you're obviously, you have something to sell. If you're in a legitimate business, you have a product to sell. If you don't have a product to sell, I would watch out, because you're probably in a scam, because technically that's illegal. But if you have an actual product to sell, then this product is there to help somebody. And every single network marketing product I've ever seen has been in existence to solve a problem. So when you're at the start, instead of doing what you see the big leaders doing, you probably see the big leaders sharing a big story, saying, this is how I went from broke to, you know, this much a month to this kind of lifestyle, taking pictures in their cars, taking pictures of their houses and their holidays. And that's all great. That stuff sells. That sells a lifestyle. That sells their story. But what you're not seeing is at the start, they didn't have that story. And guess what? They didn't start out lying and, you know, if they're a decent marketer, they didn't start out like lying and pretending that they had all these things that they didn't have. They started out focusing on selling something different. So now they're selling their story, they're selling what they've done and what they can teach others to do. But at the start, they were selling the same things you're selling, which is a product and potentially an opportunity if you're in network marketing. So there's two things you can focus on. The first thing you can focus on selling is the product. Now, if you want to sell the product, it's all about connecting people who need the product with the product itself. That's actually what we did at the start. That's where we created our biggest breakthrough, because we were kind of trying to share a story, but we didn't have the story yet, and we didn't want to lie, so we were kind of just trying to share where we were at and where we were hoping to go.
But that is the story.
Then that was the story.
Yeah.
It was a true story. We were saying this is where we are, this is where we want to go, but it wasn't having a maximum impact, because guess what? Like, we weren't getting much results yet, so we couldn't show the progression yet. But what immediately changed is when we realized, hey, we're actually selling something. And in case you don't know, if you're watching this, what the Rebel marketers sell is internet marketing training and a blogging platform, right? So all of a sudden I was realizing, oh, you know, there's people out there. I remember even talking to you about this one day, sitting there going, you know, there's people out there, these people, who could really, you know, and we were thinking about this particular group of people and how they could specifically use a blog to help them solve a problem that they had. And then we created content around that, around the problem that they had and how buying our product was going to help them do that. And guess what? We used the product, we used the blog to share this content. And lo and behold, that's when everything started to happen. And as soon as everything started to happen, hey, guess what?
But like, how did we know that the product was going to help them?
Because we believed in the product.
We knew
because
the product.
We used the product.
Yes.
Yes, good point. Right. So if you're using the product, you'll understand why it works, how it works, and how it's going to help people. So then it's simply a matter of thinking creatively and thinking, who else could use this? You know, think about what your product has done for you. If you're a Rebel marketer and if it's the blog, think about how you have maybe been able to blog about things and create a space where you're sharing stuff that you're passionate about. You know, maybe it's that you're able to blog easily for the first time when before you were trying to set up hosting and do all the stuff that actually like gives me shivers to this day because it's just so.
I think the very first thing is to like declare that you're here. This is what you're doing. I'm going in a certain direction. Whether you've come from a different business to this one, or you're deciding to work on business for the first time ever, I think you have to say this is what I'm doing, and not be afraid of friends and family or anybody. They should respect you if you say, I'm trying to do something different with my life. Nobody should have a problem with that.
Yeah.
And you say, this is where I'm going. Not, I'm going to try out this thing, because you're already telling yourself that there's an end.
Yeah.
You're not going to get to where you want to go. But say, this is where I'm taking this thing. And the first thing that happens there is people that heard that, they may not say anything to you whatsoever, but they will kind of go, I'm going to watch this person and see what they're doing. So then at some stage you're going to have some kind of win. You're going to figure out something, whether it be like you got your first sale or you figured out how to do something better, something that made you enthusiastic. Maybe you got some products and you went through the training and went, holy shit, this is amazing, and you wrote a blog about it, turned on the camera, made a video about it, whatever it is. Enthusiasm comes through. That's what sales is. It's a transfer of enthusiasm. So those people that were watching you, whether they might have been watching to see you fail. They might have been watching to see, like, I don't have the balls to start this. I'm going to see what this person does first. They see you being enthusiastic, and then there you go. It kind of snowballs, and but you have to be putting yourself out there from the start. You can't wait for a win and go, now I'll sell that. You know, you have to Put it out there.
I think that's actually really key. Is a lot of people are waiting to have a win that they can sell. They're waiting for the story that they can sell. And yes, your story is hugely important. You're in the process of making it right now. But the very first thing that you can do if you haven't made a sale yet online is to plug into your product and get enthusiastic about it. You know, there's that acronym is I can't remember what it is, but it's I am sold myself. That's that thing that you hear salespeople saying. If you want to become an expert salesperson, you want to be sold yourself on the products. You want to know why you are using the product, why you love it. And then it's not just like, I've seen this in network marketing too, where people go out and they're like, I love my product so much, it's so great, it's so wonderful, my product is the best, this is the science behind it, this is the this behind it. It's not about the product, right? It's about connecting people who could use it, who have a problem with your product as a solution. And actually that's where blogging is pretty much the best thing you could do, because you could talk directly to specific groups of people. You know, maybe it's, for me, a lot of the times it's moms. Maybe it's me writing a blog about postpartum depression. I did this, actually. I wrote a blog about postpartum depression, talked about it, talked about how it's not something shameful that we should hide away with in the corner, and talked about how blogging helped me feel better about it, and also created an opportunity for me to potentially make an income on the side while I'm staying home, which gives me something to do, which actually really helped the postpartum depression. So in that, you're talking to a specific group of people who have some sort of problem they need to solve, and you're positioning your product as something that can help them solve it. If you focus on that, you'll have your first sale really, really quick. And then all those people who are watching you, when they see you say, well, I made my first sale, that's when then the story kicks in and it starts to snowball. So for us, actually, when we first started to blog about matching people who could use our product with our product, it was like a match made in heaven. Actually, that month we made 50 sales in a month. You know, we had a couple of sales here and there, but we hadn't quite figured out the right message, because we hadn't yet created the dream life, and we were trying to figure out how do we create this story and all that stuff. But once we realized, oh, we just focus on selling the product because it's awesome and we love it and we use it, it was like turning on a fire hose. And then from there we had an awesome story, because we'd gone from like 4 sales the previous month to 50 the next. So,
but like, we got loads more sales because we had an audience.
Yeah.
Because you're.
Because we were out there, sharing it and talking about how exciting it was. So it was awesome. So that's technique number 1, is you focus on your product. You just dive in and say, I love this thing. Figure out why you love it, who else might love it, and how it could help them. The number 2 technique is, if you want to be coming from a perspective of sharing stories, if you want to, you know, for a lot of networkers, it's, am I selling the product or am I selling the opportunity? So this is if you want to sell the opportunity, if you want to help other people find a way to create an income from home, but you don't have that story yet. What do? Do you make up a story? Oh, no. No, you don't ever lie. Like we said at the start, you can get yourself, like, it's just, you're not going to feel good about it. It's going to be see-through. No one's going to, like, trust you long-term. It's just a bad idea.
I think a lot of people, they fall into that trap too easy, because they, like, it's hard for a sponsor to you know, stay on everybody in your downline and go, hey, you're going the wrong way, you're doing this
watch
wrong.
out, don't
It's kind of, you can't really tell how they should work their business. But a trap that people fall into is that they look at other people that started the business at the same time as them, and they go, oh, this person kind of started at the same time as me. And I see on Facebook that they're working a job, or they're just a parent at home, but like their first few blog posts, they're saying that this blog changed your life. Like, I kind of got the same blog as them. I started at the same opportunity as them. How did they change their life? And it's just that person might have just looked at other people and like, what are they doing? Okay, they're doing this, I'm going to model that, and then this person is modeling this, and it's all wrong.
Well, I think
you need to, like, that isn't your story if you're just straight in.
Yeah. Well, one thing is also clarity. If you're sharing if something happened that really changed you, share the actual story that happened. Don't share the thing that maybe implies that maybe you made a lot of money, or maybe that's not. You know, because a lot of people get away with the white lie. They know that people are assuming they make a ton of money, when really what they mean is, whatever it's done for them. So if you want to share what a product has done for you or what being in the business has done for you, share exactly what it's done for you. Say, I finally understand how to market online, whereas before I never had that knowledge. Now I have the knowledge, or now I finally have a blog that I can use. That I haven't had to go out and figure out hosting and spend all these extras on getting the right add-ins and the right SEO set up and all this stuff, because it's done for me right here. That's something that you can own, that's true, and that is something that can change your life. But just make sure you're not, implying something that's not true, because you're not going to feel good about it, and everyone else is going to be like, well, I can read this multiple ways. They will see through it. If you don't give a specific number, they're going to see right through it. They're going to be like, you're implying that you're making money, but I don't know.
So what do you recommend then for the person who wants to market a business opportunity? You want to just get kicking ass right away. They want shitloads of money in their account tomorrow. They were sold on the whole big dream of you can earn lots of money. They want to market a business opportunity. They haven't made twopence yet. Mm-hmm. How do they go about marketing straight away? Because they can be looking at someone like you and going, "That's okay for you, sitting there at your making a cure chocolate,
chocolate Baileys."
Drinky thing.
Actually, the bargain Baileys. It's not even the real Baileys. We're such liars.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, screw your knockoff Baileys and your story. I don't have this story, so how do I attract those people that want that kind of business?
This is technique number 2. And if you don't want to focus on the product, if you are just what lights your fire is an excitement about the opportunity that you're in and how much money can be made, and guys, in the business that the Rebel marketers are in, you can't make a shit ton of money, being honest. So if that's what you're really excited about and that's what you want to sell, don't imply that you are earning money. Share other people's stories. Now, there is a good way to do this. One is don't go around stealing other people's stories. This is share stories from within your own team. Look for video testimonials. Ask the person, hey, do you mind if I use your video on my blog? Do you mind if I share what happened for you? Because I absolutely love your story. Pick someone whose story really resonated with you. One thing that I think is absolutely great that I see, our new team members do a lot is they'll grab that, that car video that I made. So when we first broke through, I made this really silly video in my car, which was a testimonial, for the business, talking about our story, what had happened for us, and a ton of people still, that'll be one of their first few blogs, because they want to share their excitement about the business, so they can actually take someone else's story, share it, and use their use it on their blog, where they can say, hey, click on my banners, learn more about the business that we are in together as a team. And when people join the Rebels isn't owned by anybody. I don't know if everyone out there knows that. The Rebels is not one of those teams that's led by one leader and a gazillion followers. If you follow us, if you watch Rebel TV, you've seen that we have different faces on pretty much every night, and there's all kinds of different people involved and from different backgrounds. And guess what? There's people who are more product-based. There's people who are more, business opportunity-based. There's all kinds of people in our group. So what we like to do is treat it like a group. We create content as a group that you can use. For example, right now on Rebel TV, this is going out over not only a group page that anyone can add their link to and use. This is also going out over multiple Rebel blogs. You might be watching this on our blog. If you got the notification from us, you might be watching it on another Rebel's blog. So if you want to share the business opportunity, if you're excited about the money, go find a testimonial within your team that you love and share that. Start talking about the stories that got you inspired. If maybe it's someone outside of your team and you just love their story, share what you've learned of their story. Hey, I just learned about this cool person who went from, homeless in a van to creating this much money, Okay. But use income disclosures. So very important. Clarity.
There's going to be people thinking right now, hey, I'm not sending traffic that way. Although you have your own sign-up thing in your name, you're afraid that, they're looking at the person going, yeah, they have a cool story, they have it figured out. Oh, John, yeah.
Yeah, that's possible. That is possible.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, but here's the thing, is there are people who follow you because of who you are, because you're out there just being an ordinary person. And they'll see the video of this flashy leader, and they'll go, well, that's great. Now I know a lot of money can be made in this business, but I want to work with the person who feels real to me. People, they're not looking for the flashiest leader. In fact, a lot of them know that when you join someone who's earning a ton of money, they probably have less individual one-on-one time to spend with people. They probably, you know, are at a phase where you don't get as much access. So the average person watching this probably knows that, and they know, like, hey, you know, I want to sign up with a real person. You know, people want human connection. Actually, that's one of the things that is the largest draw of the Rebels, is that we're all there together. We have this active group where everyone has access to everyone. So you can also share. Well, you'll get access to all these leaders as well as me as your sponsor. So it's one of those things where the more social proof you bring in, instead, like if you just want everyone focusing on you and your story, they're not typically going to believe you. You know, like I share the Rebel TVs every day, whether I'm on it or not, because I know that it shows this huge Rebel team that's like got this amazing energy, and I know people can see that as they watch it every day, and they're kind of going, oh, well, here's someone I can relate to. You know, maybe they're on the After Dark because they have a job, and they're like, oh, well, here's other people who have jobs and are working to free themselves. You know, maybe they see someone on a different day that just inspires them. They go, I want to be in this team. But typically, they just go to the person who brought them that social proof. So standing alone, yeah, it means you won't lose any traffic, but you are less likely to actually get people making the sale because you don't have the social proof.
Mm.
I hope that answers the question.
Mm.
Now, we were wondering, like, are there any other questions that you were thinking people might be thinking around now? We were trying to anticipate.
What if someone's like, yeah, whatever about your opportunity, I just want to learn the marketing skills that are advertised with your thing and apply it to sell hotcakes.
Oh yeah, that's totally doable. Actually, what we have several team members now that have come here, learn internet marketing, because remember I said the product is the blog, but it's also internet marketing training, which is actually the secret, is like that's where the really good stuff is. So we've had several team members who come in, got all the training, and then applied this to whatever their dream was. You know, we have Leslie, who's gone on to become a really successful life coach. She's built a whole coaching business from what she learned here. Actually, we've got to get her on Rebel TV. We were talking about that recently. But yeah, so there are people who are doing that. They're applying it to other network marketing companies. They're applying it to other products that they want to sell online. So the thing is, and that's the product, right? So that's what we sell. So you can talk about whatever it is about your business that gets you passionate. That's what you want to be selling. You know, that's how you transfer enthusiasm, by sharing what you're enthusiastic about. So if you're enthusiastic about the business opportunity, share stories that you hear, share group stuff, share the testimonials that you've seen, include income disclosures, because they're very important for everyone to be totally legal and above board.
I think if you're going to use our products to market another opportunity or a different business of some sort, whatever kind of thing you're trying to do, I think, again, what's really important is the enthusiasm. I think it's a lot easier for that crowd, because whatever the thing is that we're already trying to promote, whether it's like your life coaching business or something, we're usually more passionate about it. So it's easy to keep talking about it with enthusiasm, and that's all. Like, especially with as you're learning stuff in the products, it's gonna make you kind of go, holy shit, if I apply this to this other thing, that's gonna magnify everything so much. It's so easier to get enthusiastic about it.
It's so exciting.
And yeah, if you're constantly building the following, they'll see this, jump in. But again, it comes down to enthusiasm. I think where we failed before, we weren't really that enthusiastic about the product. We got the product, it was some kind of personal development thing, a bunch of CDs, and we were told, there you go, figure out marketing and stuff yourself. Yeah. Whereas these products are figuring out marketing.
Well, see, actually, and that's why when we got here, we were so excited about the products, because this is what we were missing, you know. So, but before we were trying to sell a business opportunity, without the results yet, and so we didn't have anything to share. So when we would take trips, where actually at the time we were going into debt to go on trips for it, we would be taking lifestyle pictures, being like, look at our, lifestyle, but it felt wrong, so we were doing what we saw other leaders do, but guys, it's just a classic mistake, and it's something that if you've fallen into that trap, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. We all do, we're all like, well, I'm not technically lying, but it doesn't feel good. If what you're doing doesn't feel good, switch your message.
See, in that business, the entry was like $1,000.
Yeah, it was different.
So that felt kind of bad to us. Like they didn't deliver the goods enough to make us very enthusiastic about it. Whereas like this business, we're so enthusiastic about it because the enter is $25. That's for someone for someone to come in. They get a really good chance to look around and go, is this for me? If it's not for me, you're off, and you only lost $25. I can sleep at night when that happens, but then when people come in and see, yes, this is for me, then they buy the products that has the information of how to market properly. And so if you decide this is for you, and like you put the flag down and you say, I'm going somewhere, the products are going to work a hell of a lot better for you.
Yeah.
And you'll be enthusiastic.
So, for anyone out there who is brand new or has been around for a while and haven't made your first sale online, here's what you need to do. You need to plug in 100% to whatever it is that you are working on selling. We would encourage you to sell what we are selling because we do it as a team. We work together as a group, and you can click the link below to get the blog that we use, to get the same internet marketing training that we used to get where we are today. And yeah, it's awesome. But regardless, the first step that you need to do is get super plugged into your products. If what you're just so enthusiastic about is selling an opportunity, get super plugged into your community, to your team. See who's having great success stories. Share those success stories, and do it in an appropriate way. Don't just steal people's videos, but share those stories. Share your passion. Share what you're excited about. And once you get that first sale, share that. Share your win. And guys, you can't share your win if you've been like secretly implying you're making a ton of money. You can't go, hey, guess what? I just made my first sale. So you want to do that because that enthusiasm then gets the ball rolling, and you can just go and go and go. That's pretty much what happened for us. So anything else to add? No. Well, awesome, guys. Go out there. Make it your business that you're going to make your first sale online before the end of May. Just figure out, it's 10 days, figure out what can I do? How can I get this message to the right people to make my first sale, break through the barrier, and go for it? So if you're not in the Rebels, get in. Click the link below, and we'll see you on Rebel TV tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. Bye, everybody.